What do you think Dame should do in regards to his status as a Portland Trailblazer as the team tries to build a playoff contending team around him?
I mean, I think I know he's not necessarily sitting there and complaining and throwing a fit like other superstars have after they sign supermax contracts, but I mean, this is what he has to deal with. I mean, he made this bet, he's got to lay in it. This roster is not even bad when you think about how good some of these younger players are. I mean, Anthony Simons just signed an extension, and he's one of the more up and coming competitive guards. Jeremy Grant is a proven forward in this league that can give you 15 and 10. I mean, obviously, you have Yusuf Nurkic that can give you 10 and 15 rebounds. Gary Payton's one of the better defenders. Josh Hart's a hustler. There are no scrubs on this team. Like, you have competitors. But of course, the biggest part about this is the Western Conference is stacked. And with this roster, as it's currently assimilated, it probably will not make a competitive postseason run. Damian Lillard is one of the few people that you can list as a perennial all-star slash superstar. He can give you 30 a night if he needs to. He can pass the ball. He can rebound efficiently, even at his size. And I think that now that he's getting into that upper echelon, now that he's past 30, I think for me personally, if he wants to compete for a championship, I'm not saying to disrespect the Blazers, say that they suck, or request a trade and throw a tantrum, quit on them or anything like that. But if you want to win, you have to leave. The Portland front office is 100% to blame. They have not been able to attract any free agents. They haven't been able to bring in anybody that's going to assist Dame and take that pressure off of him for being the primary scorer. Yes, Anthony Simons was a diamond in the rough that they happened to get lucky on that is developing very well. Yes, they acquired Jeremy Grant to help rebound and play defense, and of course, assist in scoring as a third, if not fourth option. But let's be honest, this league has become pairs of superstars, pairs of all-stars, and that's just not what the Blazers have right now. Unfortunately, this falls on the shoulders of Damian Lillard, and because he has chosen to remain loyal, this is what he has to deal with. Unless he wakes up and realizes if he wants to win a chip, he's got to go. This is just going to be the continued story for his career. And it's sad because I enjoy watching Damian Lillard very much so. And I would really like him to play on a better team just so that he can host up a trophy one day or hoist up a trophy one day. But again, from a loyalty perspective, and he's not complaining and bitching about it, I got to give him his flowers, man. He's trying his hardest, but the front office has got to do a better job in helping him out.
Yeah, I mean, from a loyalty perspective, I cannot knock Dame in any way, shape, or form. He's going to try to make it work with Portland for the foreseeable future. And albeit the Blazers are just not that good this year, they're 12th in the Western Conference. The crazy thing, though, is that they're only like a game and a half out from a play-in tournament situation. So it's not like the end all be all. Like this is just like a massive failure that they can't make the playoffs. They have plenty of time to be able to make up some ground to potentially get into a play-in tournament situation. But like you said, Kev, with the Western Conference being so stacked, and I would imagine some of those teams that are in those edge spots right now, they're probably going to get better as the season goes on, and that could leave a scenario where Portland just kind of gets left in the dust. No matter if Dame's putting out 30, 35 points a game, if you're not winning games, you're just not going to be in a playoff situation regardless. I think for Dame for the foreseeable future, I think he's going to do the best that he can to try to keep that team competitive. But the front office, this is where I'm really putting most of the emphasis here, is that the front office has to make a better pitch to potential trade suitors, potential free agents in upcoming off seasons to be able to come to Portland. And granted, like Kev had already alluded to, Portland has a decent roster to work with. It's just they're just not getting consistency from this group as a unit. I mean, when it comes to Dame, I know what I'm going to get from him. Dame is going to go out there and probably drop somewhere between 25 to 30 points consistently. But outside of that, you're going to get performances that are spotty. And you could even look at some of their games this year where they may score 130 to 135, sometimes even 140 points. Their offense is capable of that. And there are times where they can't crack 100. And typically when they go up against better competition, they fall short. And they've been falling consistently short this year. That's why they have a sub 500 record. So, when it comes to Dame, I'm not going to question his effort. And the fact that he's sticking through this process with Portland, I do think that is commendable. But even after a certain point, if the Trailblazers are going on this stretch for the next couple of years where they just can't compete in the Western Conference, hell, they can't even compete for a play-in tournament situation, I think patience is only going to go so far with him. I think he may go another 2 years or so, And then maybe he's like, you know what? We tried it here. I gave 10 plus years to this organization. We just weren't able to make it work. And then maybe he looks for greener pastures somewhere else. I don't think he's at that point yet. There would have to be mediocrity going for, I think, another year or two before he would reach that point. But as of right now, I think he's going to do the best that he can to be able to work through it. And if the front office delivers to bring a more championship, not even championship, I should say playoff contending roster to the forefront, then maybe it'll all be worth it in the end. But if they fail in that regard and they're not able to bring in anybody, then I think Dame could potentially be on the way out in the next 2 years or so. So, yeah, that's how I kind of see it. I think Dame is going to stick with it right now. But if this lingers for the next couple of years, I think he's out. And honestly, I think it's as simple as that.